is going on, guys? Live here from London, England. Week 3 is around the corner. Thursday's game didn't have any plays. It's a tough game. It could have gone either way, as you've seen. Jacksonville pull out the win there. Under hit, but no play. So posting today live here from London, England. I just landed today, actually. I told you guys I would still obviously post the videos. I'll be watching the games here on Sunday, plan my trip around that. So hopefully you guys are checking this out. Let's go over some week 3 advice before we go over the plays from last week. Was 5-1, so hopefully you guys did tail on some of those plays. Just advice for this week. When handicapping games, don't focus too much on previous meetings with teams, or how many times they covered the spread in the last 10. Guys, personally, I don't use any of these last 15 meetings, or how many times they cover the spread in the last 10 games. To me, it doesn't mean too much, because one, the teams always change, coaching staff changes, game plans change, style of play changes. You can't really focus too much on that. Focus on home versus away records, obviously injuries in the game, and of course, don't be scared to go with your gut. A lot of my plays I do go with my gut from my knowledge of handicapping NFL for 15 years. So don't always look at all these. I think they're useless stats. Don't always try to follow that when you have different options ahead of you, especially if your knowledge is good on the game. So let's go over my last week's plays. Like I said, we did go 5-1. Dallas minus 4.5 hit for 1 unit. Cleveland minus 2.5 for 2 units. And we also were on the Rams minus 2.5 and the under 52.5 for 1.5 units. So only game that didn't hit last week was Mini. They didn't make that comeback against Green Bay, unfortunately. They had a chance to win that game, so I don't really focus too much on that play, but it was a close game. Lost 1 units on that. Up 4.4 units last week and 5.24 units on the season. Let's go over some games I like this week. I'm not going to go into too much detail here, guys. I'll just give out the plays here. I'm on Baltimore here, plus 6.5. I think it's way too many points. We seen Baltimore go into Kansas City last year, and they should have won that game straight up. Never mind cover the game. So take a look at Baltimore plus 6.5. I just think it's too many points. We all know Kansas City's defense is very, very shady. We all know Baltimore's offense has improved, and their defense, I think, is just as good as last year. Maybe a little slight hit on the pass rush, but yeah, I think it's too many points. You can get it at 7. I've seen it plus 7 at a few books. So take a look at that if you can get the plus 7, or even use the alternate line to get up to 7 there. Also on the Pittsburgh Steelers at plus 6.5. Again, I think it's too many points here. San Francisco, they have looked good in their 2 games, but who have they beat? I'm not impressed on who they beat. I also think Tallman will have the Steelers up for this game. I think that big trade they just made for Fitzpatrick will help that secondary a lot. So look for Pittsburgh to show up here. Randolph looked okay last week. He looked pretty comfortable in the system. So don't be shy to take that plus 6.5 on Pittsburgh Steelers. Guys, I'm jumping on the Giants here at plus 7. This will be my 3rd play here. I think this team and offense is just better without Eli. Okay, Jones has looked much better in the preseason and when he got into games this season. Only questions I have is on the defense. Right, the defense is a little suspect. I just think the Giants can hang around here and cover. I'm not that impressed with Tampa Bay. Sure, they Winston found a groove last game. But I think Giants hang around here at +7. So as you see, I'm taking some road dogs to cover here. So take a look at those three. Those are my plays for this week on the spread. Give you my alternate line parlay, which we did hit last week. Alternate line parlay last week was Dallas money line, Kansas City money line, and Ravens -2.5 for 1 unit. Okay, so you put 100 on it, you win. You won $108. So hopefully you guys tailed there. This week alternate line, I'm looking at the Minnesota Vikings -2.5. Okay, they're gonna beat Oakland, no doubt about it. I don't like the 9. -9 is a little high for my liking, so tease it down. Right, alternate line -2.5. Also on Green Bay money line, and Pittsburgh +14.5. Okay, so again, this is alternate line parlay. You're gonna get it at +108 on those 3 games. All right, guys, I'm gonna leave you guys with a dog play of the week. Call me crazy, but I'm gonna take the Ravens +230 on the road. The value is way too good here. This is more of a value play and a numbers play. That's what I'm looking at here. +230 for the way the Ravens has been playing. It's a no-brainer to put a little. It's a sprinkle play. You know, I'm not putting a unit on this play. I'll put 0.25 units on this, just because it is a larger dog. But I think they can go into KC and win this game. Like I said, guys, be cautious. You know, obviously we know KC's offense, but this defense is very suspect. I think towards the bottom of the league. And the way Baltimore and Lamar Jackson has been playing, take a look at the +230. You're getting good value there. I think they're just going to try to run out the clock, try to keep Mahomes off the field. We all know how they played them last year. They should have beat KC in KC, which is one of the harder stadiums to win in. But I think Ravens have the advantage here, going into their playing last year very good, and you know, just coming up short. And you know, they play good against teams that don't have good defense. Baltimore usually teams they struggle with, like last year against the Chargers, that was a struggle. Any teams that, you know, have a stout defense, even Jacksonville, if you guys remember that game in London, they got smashed in London by Jacksonville because of their defense. So something to think about if you guys want to take a dog play. Take a look at Ravens +230. I'll leave you guys with a little view of the city from the Airbnb, and good luck this weekend, guys. Remember, bet safe and bet smart. Take care, guys.